Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of Hanging Out with Temi. My name is Temi Ajayi, as you know, and I've got Miss Suleiman on. How are you doing, Miss Suleiman?
I'm really good, Tammy. I'm really good, thank you. How are you? How have you been?
Yes, I've been good. I think it's the first time I'll come out since the 13th of April. And so I'm coming out today. Actually, I went to before I came to the studio, I went to one of the girls, Tessie, that is today is our 26th wedding anniversary, and she's betting a new life, like a new platform, a new vision, and the husband, both of them, supporting some a cause like orphanage and all that. Yeah, so I said today I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna visit, and I did. I put a little bit of powder on my face, as you can see, and I said I need to go and hang out with Heidi today. Last last
Well,
week we went on the show because it was a little fresh. It still was new, so I could not come on the show. But today I thought it's okay. It's okay. You can go out now. Yeah,
yes, you can. Of
yeah.
course, you can. Well, I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad that you're doing well. I'm really proud of you. You're doing so well, and you know, it has been a difficult time. Recently we've had a few of these. Your family went through a few of these incidences, and it's not as easy to have a peaceful place to come to. But obviously you are made out of something very, very, very strong, and you have beautiful foundation, and you are very invested in your own spiritual life. And if it wasn't because of that, you wouldn't be here today, and you wouldn't have this smile on your face. You know what, Temi? I honor you. I really, really honor you. You're such a strong, beautiful woman. I'm so honored to be on this platform with you, and I'm really blessed to have you as a friend,
Thank,
and to celebrate life with you.
thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you so much, Heidi. Yeah, it's been tough. And the hardest thing for me was to receive flowers, believe it or not. I love flowers, and everyone knows around me that I love flowers. And I asked sometimes my husband, "Would you please buy me flowers?" I beg for people to buy me flowers, and I buy flowers for myself. But this time, I'm like, you know, flowers aren't cheap, Heidi. I mean, I had the accident April, exactly 1 year from now. Flowers. I lost my brother, flowers. Lost my brother-in-law, flowers. And now lost my dad. I'm like, please don't bring flower. Enough. Apart from that, it's expensive, and also I get people out. I get people out every time. Like, it's not just me. Like, don't worry, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. It's very hard, but I got beautiful flowers that I cherish everyone that brought them. I thank you so much for what you did as well. Liz represented you, and I know people love me so much. They really do, and I really appreciate them. But one thing I don't like is I don't want to give burden. I really don't want to bother people and put burden on them. Really, really, that's the I don't want any of that. But I really want to say thank you. Thank you to everyone. And today also my church brought these huge flowers, and I really appreciate all my friends. I've got the picture actually. I should even post it of some of the flowers that I got given. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So currently my father is in the mortuary. And also I really want to thank my siblings, the ones that are home.
Mm.
Heidi, they did amazingly well. I can't believe how they did it. They did so well. And, when my father was sick, it was a bit of a drama. it was a drama because there was a time that my father's siblings, so the sibling, one of them was like, the way you're looking at your dad doesn't mean he's, are you saying he's young, he's a little, what are you anticipating when you were going to take him to the hospital? Like, do you really think he needed to go to the hospital? I'm like, yes. So I was put in a situation with FaceTime, and they're facing my dad and they were facing me and said, look at him, you want him to go to the hospital? And I said, yesterday I was speaking with my dad and he was talking. I was told that he was eating well, he was talking to me, he was moving his eye, he was doing everything. So, and being a nurse, I put my clinical hat on and I assessed my father and I said, if somebody is going to die, they decline. My father wasn't declining, he was improving by the day. So I know that nurses were coming home. There was a nurse that was 24-hour service and doctors were coming. But it's not as good as if you go to the hospital when you have the larger clinical team to review and assess, and if they need to do something, there. And I said, yes, I think you should go. So they took my dad, my sister, and my immediate younger sister and my little brother. They took him straight to the hospital. No, this is, let me just phrase it properly. They went to the hospital to check if there was a doctor, because this was in a village where the doctor comes in the morning and could go at 4 p.m. and that was it. But they went to check if there was a doctor. And then the doctor said, yes, bring my dad. And they went straight back to go and bring my dad. This was like from one suburb to the other. And they drove my father straight to the hospital. And then they were there. And then they went to the bigger hospital, teaching hospital, where one of my brother has a friend who is a nurse who's been looking after my dad anyway. So she said at the hospital, this is my patient. Every team came and they put drip on my dad. They did everything, was prompt. He didn't need to wait for like 2 hours before he was attended to. Good care, good care.
Mm.
Then they looked after him. But the saddest thing was, he was there for 3 days or so. When he was being discharged, on his way home, he stopped. So my fear now is, how am I going to face the brother that told me he didn't need to go to the hospital? And then I quickly reminded myself that, it's not about any brother or any sister, it's about my father and my conscience. If my father was at home and no one took him to the hospital and he died, I would have blamed myself and said I should have done something. So there was a lot of drama, and I just came to terms with it. And I was at peace that, I did what a daughter would do to a father when it has the access to the treatment. Why would you deprive him from getting that service? So I had this roller coaster emotion, if you know what I mean. Like, then I came back to myself and said, no, let's concentrate on the person who is
Yes.
my father, is the factor here, not all these peripheral uh,
Mm.
attachments to it. So, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Must have been very difficult for you and for them because you know what? You're not there. You're not
yes,
there. So because you're not there, you feel like there is a lot you could do.
I believe so. Exactly. I
So
believe
it's that feeling of like that urge, like if I was just there, I would have done this and I would done that. And then this is why you keep telling everyone, plus your medical profession. So you think and you know that you know a lot,
I
okay, compared to them. So
yeah,
this is why what you were doing, Temi, there's no right or wrong, darling.
yeah,
There is no right and wrong. In these incidences, in these situations, you just go with your heart. And
yeah.
whatever your heart tells you, you just do, you just follow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so well done.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
Thank you. But it's so funny you say that. It's so funny because every time my siblings are so good. So I really want to say thank you to my sister Bola. She's a powerful individual. She has capacity to do a lot very strong, very hardworking, and she get things done. And my little brother Kayode, amazing. These two, they're like two fire to get. This is a fire, that's a fire, and of course the Animasaun, who my father's name, family name. So these two, they worked together. They were with my father from when he was sick to when he was dead till they did everything. Only the two of them, amazing. I mean, and Olumide, my nephew as well. Wonderful, wonderful people. But let's go on a quick break and I'll tell you what I was doing to them when they were doing FaceTime and telling me my father. We'll go on a quick break and we'll be back. Welcome back on the show. It's the first time back since my father passed away. So we're just sharing and talking about the experience and what it's been. And so I was when they were doing the FaceTime when my father was in the hospital second day, I said, my father did not come to the hospital with baggy eye. I was looking at him like, I think the eye is perfect. Can I see the leg? Can I see that? And then, he had a catheter because he wasn't voiding properly. So they gave him a catheter. And I was looking, I said, can I see the urine? Is it clear? Is it cloudy? Is it amber color? What is it? I was picking on everything to the extent that I was even picking on the bed. So when they made the bed, they raised the head of the bed up. If the bed sheet is not fitted properly, you know how it rolls and caved in. So I saw that. I'm like, oh, the bed sheet is rolling in. Can you straighten it? Can you get another? They're looking at me as what is she about? So I told them, can I talk to the doctor? And the doctor said, I can't do FaceTime. I really can't talk to you. I'm like, why? What if I'm the next of kin? Won't you talk to me? And this is the thing also. We when I don't know when they got to the hospital in those places, I don't know if they asked for the next of kin even. Here they ask who is the medical power of attorney, what is the medical treatment, who is all these next of kin. I don't know if they even ask in this hospital. Like, so who are you really responsible to? And I think that's one of the things that we need to be checking with our parents, those of us that have got aged parents back home, that
Yeah.
who is your next of kin. And then if you're peradventure you're sick, who make that decision? Who talks to the doctors? But anyway, they didn't talk to me. And then I asked the nurse, I said to the nurse, I said, listen, I'm your senior colleague. I looked at her, she's a bit young. I'm like, I'm your senior. I train nurses, all right? So I said, listen, and I'm a nurse, we're colleagues. So you need to tell me something. What are you giving? What is in that drip? And what is the prognosis like? Just tell me. And I said, listen, I can take it. Tell me, is my father dying or whatever? So I asked all these critical questions, but I know, of course, she's not going to give me the direct question. It's like, no, it doesn't look like it. Your daddy, I can't actually predict. And I said, fair enough. I know that. But it was interesting. It was very interesting. And I'll look at him and ask, is he sweating? Is there a fan or AC there? Can you do something? I picked on everything I did. I picked on,
Yeah.
but my daddy was well looked after, I must say. Was well looked after. There was the nurses are there, the doctors are there constantly. It was a teaching
Mm,
hospital, so it was a big hospital, and
mm,
so it was well looked after. But one thing I also noticed was this could be me. You know how I could be a little naive. I've admitted that, and I'm fine with it. Really, I did not, even though my father was saying I'm 90 years old. It did not register on my head. Truth,
mm.
it didn't register that 90 was a lot. I did not. It did not register that 90 was. I mean, my father was on the show 5 months ago, 16th of
Yes,
October.
yes,
la-
that's right.
So you see the way he was talking, you engage with him and everything. So you can't think he's going to just die. But this is funny idea. I know that even I can die, but I don't think my father can die. Does that make sense to you? Why is
Yes,
that?
yes, yeah.
That's, that's very silly. But I
Well,
feel
because when we die, we won't know that we're dying. When we die, we just die, you see? And this is why we don't go through a process where we die. Death is just like the soul just leaves the body. It's the most amazing experience to me.
I can only that imagine it really. Yeah.
It's an amazing experience. Like when the soul leaves the body, it's very liberating. It's freedom. It's nothing I can explain in words because I've had a near death experience. So my when my soul left my body, I could hardly know anything. Like there's nothing more liberating in this whole wide world that it's a beautiful feeling. It's a beautiful emotion, honestly. And
Mm.
there's nothing like it. So when that happens, there is so much like you quickly join God, your spirit, your soul. That's it. Well, you go to the source, and then the source is there to hug you and take you, and that's it. So it's really good. It's a beautiful feeling. It's a really beautiful feeling. So um, we get a shock from someone dear to us leaving, but
Mm-hmm.
the fact is they don't get any shocks.
Mm-hmm.
They go home.
It's true. I had the experience with my accident, remember?
Yes, with your
I
accident.
I was like in a trance
Yes.
and I was so happy. It was crystal. It was there was no noise. It was beautiful and it was a good, very good experience. And it's funny because I didn't even think about my husband. I didn't think about the children. Even when I came back, seriously, like to life, I still did not remember my husband or my children. I was so much at peace. I was
Mhm.
had to get anxious when I realized where I was. And then somebody's like, "Oh, Pastor, I'm here. I'm from church. I'm this." And so I came and like, "Oh, what am I doing here?" Before then, I didn't know. I was really good, happy, free, light. I felt light. I felt clean.
Yeah.
I felt clean. The environment was spotless. So I
Wow.
understood exactly what you're saying, Heidi. I've been
Mm.
so I believe my father was in heaven with God. I believe so, considering it was a man with no jargon. My father did not have extra rubbish. His house is even very spacious with no excesses. He lived a life that I admire. How can somebody live like this? Like, you might have like 10 shirts. That's it. But me, you can imagine suitcases in the shed, in the garage, in the room. So I'm like, oh, I wish I lived like my father.
I can
Like,
imagine.
it's crazy. But my father lived a very decent life. No extra luggage, no cobwebs, no jargons. Beautiful, beautiful. And
You know
one
what,
thing,
Timmy? I want
yeah,
to say something. I have never seen you with the same outfit twice.
I didn't saying that I'm not the only one in this situation. A lot of people are worse than me.
I'm serious. I have never seen you with the same outfit twice. It's like I'm thinking your closet is disposable.
It's
You know,
crazy. I need
you wear
someone.
something and then you throw it away and then you buy something new, or what do you do? How do you manage that?
Yeah, so what happened now is since Midi moved there, I'm using Midi's wardrobe, my wardrobe, guest room. My clothes are everywhere in the house, and the shed, and it's everywhere. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, I have some sort of issues in terms of that. And also if you go to Nigeria, it's not It's not that expensive to make something nice from small money. It's only here that we make this dress now. They will make it here for like $200 just to make it, or three. In Nigeria, you might spend $50 to make it. So it's easier for you to have boxes and boxes when you go back home, to bring back. So that's why I have. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But I guess a whole lot of people have this problem as well.
Wow. Wow.
Have this problem as well. Yeah. So thank you so much for today. I'm glad that I'm out because I had to speak to myself and say, Temi, put some powder on and get out because your father did not die prematurely. Even though you might love your daddy, even though you might be your daddy's baby, but then it
Mm.
did not die prematurely. And my husband kept reminding me that it's something to be celebrated. That people aspire, they pray to be 90. What's your problem? However, 90. My father's siblings said my father was 96. This is the thing. They said my father was 96, that the birthday is claiming was his official birthday. And I reckon all of us have got these problems too with our birthdays. In my book, I wrote it in my book. I think my book will be launched in August. I wrote this birthday story in my book because when I asked my mom will say, "You're a little baby. You're only 5 years old." And then my daddy will say, "No, no, no, you're 6, 7 years old." My mom will say, "No, no, no, she's only a little girl." I guess when I was growing up, I was too much. I was big mouth, and my mother didn't want me to grow so quickly, so she kept bringing my age down and saying, "No, your birthday is 17." So I wrote it in my book. God knows my birthday. Now my sister has taken all our birth certificate. They found it in my father's room, so she's taking it with her to our station. She's going to bring it back for us at some stage. She said it's part of the things that she's taking. So I wonder what I'm going to find in my official birth certificate. So look out. Who knows?
Yeah, let's see
Maybe,
that.
maybe I'm 10 years younger because the way or older. It could be that way. So watch out for that. I'll bring it up. I'll bring it when I found. So she said it's in the box, but she wasn't going to lose everything. She said that she just took them with her. So there you go.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting, interesting.
Very interesting. Yeah. I don't like the word dead. Do we
Yeah.
really die?
I didn't use that for my brother nor my brother-in-law. I did not use the word dead. I said passing, or transiting. I specifically said I don't want to use the word death for them. I think it's just a bit. Why did you say that? I can't believe you said that. So you felt
No
the same.
one dies, Sammy. No one dies. No one dies. Death doesn't happen. It's a transformation.
Transition.
Or a transformation. This whole thing that we are in right now, this is a costume. This is a costume.
Cloak,
That
right.
costume finishes, and then we go back to our own, you know, state. So the word, there's no death.
Well, depends on where one goes after that. So if you go to heaven, you'll be renewed, you'll be transformed, and you rise up at the end with the angels. But yeah, I mean that's biblically. And if you're not a Christian, then don't know. I don't know what happened in there. So I haven't really researched that. So I don't know if some people dies and some people rises and resurrected. I got a revelation on Sunday, Resurrection Sunday. I got a revelation and I shared with my husband. But I think let's go on a quick break and come back and I'll tell you mine. I will share my resurrection with everyone. So watch out. Listen, we'll be back. Welcome back on the show. We're still talking. Heidi, are we going to talk all on this show all about my dad. And to
Well,
Sheena that said I've done the right thing. Thank you so much. I appreciate that your contribution, and I'm glad that some people reckon I did the right thing. And Kylie, I mean, is letting us. Oh well, I'm letting my secret out. I know I get into trouble sometimes by letting my secret out, but really, at some stage, secret we all come to light. Like my dad died at 90, he said he was 90, and the sibling said 96. So the truth is coming out now somehow, somewhere, you know. When I was in church on Sunday, I was thinking about my father, and then I got a revelation that it seemed as if my father was saying, I died with Christ. I did not rise with him, but Jesus is risen. You know who he is. You're in a good hand, and what a good time to go. So I said to my husband, I revealed all this in sequence to him. And I said, my father must loved me so much to
yes.
have died at this time. And he's telling me I died so that I can hand you over to the one that Jesus Christ. How good
Mhm.
is that? So I kept on,
Amazing.
wow, so really? But
Mm.
because Jesus is risen, I have to celebrate that, even though you're passing. So I need to choose, am I celebrating Jesus, or am I staying here mourning my father? And he says, no, don't mourn. I'm giving you in the right hand of Jesus that and he's risen, even though me, I'm not risen with him, but he's risen, and he's the best father, that. So he's the one that
Yes.
will never leave you in any circumstances, in any situation, and hold on to it. You will never be disappointed. So I was very happy.
Mm.
I said to my husband, hooray, this is good. Yeah, that's
This is
my
excellent. Yes.
revelation. Yeah. How good is that?
Very good. Very good. And it's the power of, knowing that, even, Temi, when I learn about death, or when I think about death, I think about death of the ego.
Yeah,
Now
die to
that's yes.
die to self.
Yeah, so that's a voluntarily way to die. I tell my ego, you're learning this. You're sitting here to learn this, and then my ego goes, "Oh no, no, no! This is so much. I can't, do it." And then all the fear, and then all that panic, and then the ego, part of that ego dies. That part of that ego. Now that is what death is.
Fantastic. Beautiful. Beautifully
Yes,
said.
yeah, that is what death really is. But really, the body, that just goes somewhere, and then the soul transmits and transmutes, and it goes somewhere else.
It's really funny you said that, because when I was coming on the show, I told you we stopped by with the Tessie that is doing this new initiative, vision, or one new mission that they are establishing with her husband and family. One of the question was, what did you have to give up on, or die to in your relationship? So it's the ego.
Mm,
So it's funny you said that. What did you have to die
understand.
to? Yeah.
Yes,
What did you have to kill in your relationship to let it to live? And that's
yes,
one of the things. The answer is the ego. Is the
yeah,
But when you know that you have the problem, that's when the problem is half solved.
yes,
Because if you don't know, then there's a problem. There's a problem. And there was a story today that I was sharing with my husband, similar thing. Something that ordinarily I will have flared up, I will have flared up, and I didn't. And I said to him that, I've grown, or I'm growing, that normally I would be upset. We were, let me share, it doesn't matter. We were walking, and then my husband said, somebody rang him, where are you? He says, I'm working. So I'm like, you're not working by yourself. Just say we are working. Because we're walking around the park. So I would have said, why are you saying I'm working when I'm with you? Are you working on your own? You should say, I'm working with my wife. We're both working. Simple, but that's an ego that I had to grow out of. Like it's fine. Has nothing to
Mm.
do, it has nothing to do with you. If the person asks about you, then your husband will say she's here. But this time, can you let him just be? Can you let him just talk the way he wants to talk? The person is talking to him. The person is not talking about you. So why would you? But it's simple, but it's a fact. It's an ego.
Yeah.
Previously, I would be angry, but I said this and I was laughing that, oh wow, silly me, I will have fought and said, why did you say it? And we talked about it. So
Mm.
ego is something that we need to die and we need to be conscious of it. A lot of times
Yes.
we're not conscious. So I measure, I manage, I interpret
Mm.
everything I do. Is it what's the purpose of doing that? So I analyze it and I grow by doing that. If that
Mm.
that makes sense. And sometimes I pat myself on the back and say, Tammy, actually you've passed another class. You are now in another level of stop being petty and just get a life. It's all right.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, so Heidi, let's let's talk about me. Let's talk about you. You were in Sydney, and I'm interested in that your trip. You went to Sydney for a whole week, Heidi. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so I went on Sunday and I started an intensive program with a beautiful client on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I came back on Friday. So I usually do intensives with people that have an urgency, in
Okay.
time and in case. Yeah. So when there is an urgency, when there is like a chronic illness that or a disease that is, that needs to be seriously, actually, like straight away looked at because of any reason, medically and health and all of that. So I do an intensive since having a weekly session or having, even bi-weekly session is not enough. So I do an intensive where I do 9 sessions in a row or 10 sessions in a row. And so I completely empty my schedule and I only focus on that client and I'm there with them energetically, physically, mentally, psychologically. And I am just working with them and they're working with me. And then we're both integrating this thing together till I feel like I put them in the first step. Then I step back and then I start supporting from the back every now and then. So I left her on Thursday, and then tomorrow is her first regular session. So I'm gonna see her every week from now on till we get her to the other side, hopefully. Yeah. And I totally find the reward and the happiness and the passion, Tammy, the passion the passion that I have for this work.
Wow.
It's
Wow.
unbelievable. I don't get tired. She was sitting next to me. She was getting tired. She was getting tired. And she would say, okay, I think that's enough. I'm going to go and nap. And she would nap for an
Oh,
hour, wake up, and then I start again. And she goes, you don't nap? No. You don't rest? No. So how?
wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Well done, Heidi. God bless you for doing this because I know no amount of money or anything could equate to what you do, how you do it, and with passion. And we know your passion is
Yeah.
contagious. It's
Yeah.
contagious. We know that. I pray that that person too, as you work with her, she will receive total healings, and we
Amen.
glory to God that has given you this wisdom to be able
Yeah.
to do this. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Tammy. Thank you. Thank you.
Well done. Love it. So if you have chronic issues, chronic pain, chronic disease, even terminal, ID is there. She's got the
Yes.
God given her the wisdom and the skill. It's not what you learn from school, it's what God gives you, and that's what she's using. So reach out. Reach out. Let's
Mm.
start a quick break. We talked about Easter because I know ID. You're both born again and Orthodox. I don't know how that works. Let's go on a quick break. We'll be back. Welcome back on the show. We're still talking about, no, we just finished talking about Heidi's flight to Sydney, how she's been there supporting some people that needed some serious help, and she's back. But now I want to talk about Easter. Easter is being fantastic. Here, I had a baby, a child in my house who came to stay for 4 days.
Oh,
It's,
nice.
yeah, it's so funny. The parents were away, so I looked after him for that time. Very interesting. I remember we're going to church and he goes, "Are we going to get some eggs?" And I said, "Yes, we do. Do you do eggs hunting in your church?" I said, "Yes." In the morning, and he says, "I need to look for a bag." So this boy looked for a bag to collect Easter eggs. How serious was that boy? That little boy prepared not to go and, not to go and celebrate Jesus. He prepared himself with bag, hamper bag to collect eggs. So sweet. So sweet. So we were saying to him, Easter eggs is not just about eggs. I eggs I know represent a lot of things with some religious organizations or sect about Easter period, but Easter, I mean, eggs, I guess, symbolizes a new life and a new birth because if you crack the eggs, you might get something. I think that's what it is. But you're going to tell us. So, but it's
Yes.
not about eggs, it's about Jesus. So, Easter eggs. But I know you're both Christian and you're also Orthodox. Do you find, how do you do that? Is that conflicting? Because you paint.
Okay. No, no, no. Nothing is conflicting. There's nothing contradictory here.
All right.
It's like a tradition. Like, look, these traditions, okay, with the eggs, they actually come from ancient Egyptians.
Right.
Okay, why? Because ancient Egyptians, like Easter comes at the time of spring.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Easter comes exactly at the time of spring, and then when spring comes, the flowers flourish and they become, from the little ones to the big ones, and they open, and then it's all spring. Okay,
Yeah.
and so the egg is a symbol of new life.
New life.
New life for the flowers and the trees and the nature, and then new life in the egg. Egg is just a symbol. It's nothing but that. And because the whole nation is covered with different colors of flowers, and like the atmosphere is
Oh,
all full of colors, so
oh,
we paint the eggs. So every spring, not just Christians, this
I
is
was
this is
told.
ancient. No,
Yeah,
not just Christians, not just
yeah,
Orthodox
on
people. This
denomination,
is
right?
Muslims, this
Tradition.
is the Jews, this is every single person that lived around in Egypt. We would just do that. And it's called Spring Festival.
Mm.
Okay, so they would just paint eggs different colors, and then they would crack the eggs together like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have to preserve the egg for so many days? Do you have to do any
No,
ritual?
just boil it in a day. No, no.
Ah,
You just boil the egg in the morning, that's it. And then color it and paint it, and then have a whole basket full of eggs, and then you
full of-
give everyone an egg. And that it's not something that it has no religious symbol. It's a more like a historical symbol.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you use chicken eggs or duck eggs? Because it looks like the eggs are bigger. They're bigger than ordinary eggs. And then
No,
you color
well,
it.
we use chicken eggs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
People have given me those eggs before, and I'm like, no, I don't want to eat this one. I don't know. So so I thought, oh well, I don't know. I thought you marinate it somewhere or somehow something.
No,
Oh,
no, just normal eggs, and it's all boiled. But this is what we do. I don't know if other people do something else, but this is what we did as a family. In my family back home in Egypt, this is what we did. And you know, I don't think we've done this a lot here because we just don't have the same spirit of, the traditions in the country. But back in Egypt, this is what
wow.
this is what they're gonna do on Monday.
This Monday coming?
Yes, because it's Easter Monday, because this is when they celebrate spring.
Okay, so this your Easter eggs, all those things has nothing to do with Jesus, really. Is your
No,
celebrate they celebrating eggs and
but
festival.
it's the second day after resurrection. It always follow Easter. This is why it's related, but they're not related. It has to be the second day after Easter.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is Easter, Easter resurrection, and then Spring Festival.
Unbelievable. And your calendar year is different from our own calendar year, yeah? Because
Because the Western calendar, they celebrate Christmas on the 25th. We
right,
celebrate it on the 7th of January.
not too far. Ethiopia we celebrate in some was maybe March or September, something like that is different. So is there any reason? It's just because of the calendar, right? Hmm.
Just a calendar thing. And then Easter, we also celebrate it differently. But the thing is, with Easter, you know how Easter was the Western Easter last week, and then for the Orthodox is this week. So next year we're gonna have 2 weeks gap. Third year we're gonna have 3 weeks gap. Fourth year we come back together.
What
So in
what
four
do you
years,
mean first year? So this
so
year is next year?
yeah, so every 4 years
Every four
we
years?
celebrate together.
Oh.
And I don't know why. Look, it's all calendars thing. It's
Oh,
like
I know what you mean. Every fourth year, then it fall into Western calendar.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
because of the oh, what is I was gonna say eclipse of the moon, but it's not eclipse of the moon. It's the when you have one bonus week in a month. So I probably I know what I some month, some year we have five weeks in a month. Do you
yes.
know that? So when you have that, you have extra somehow it falls into what is that called? I can't even remember. Yeah, I know what you mean. So I think that's what happened. All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But
So
yeah,
we celebrate Easter tomorrow. So today the girls are getting ready and they're going to church for the midnight mass. Yes. So they're going for the midnight mass tonight.
wow.
Mhm.
Okay. So the Orthodox go for the mass too?
Yes.
Oh. See, there's a whole lot that we don't even know. And is there gonna be eggs?
Is there going to be eggs? No. No, there's no eggs at church. Just a mass, and then everybody goes home, and then they eat whatever they want to eat. But then Monday is the day they eat the eggs and the fish and all of that on Monday. But today is just a mass. Tomorrow is Easter. So tomorrow I'm with the family. We're going to have lunch together in a restaurant, like big family. My grandmother, my uncles and aunties, and all my cousins. Like there's a lot of us, and then we're just gonna go all to. Obviously, we haven't celebrated Christmas and Easter for 2 years now because of COVID, and this is the first time we're gonna get together. It's really going to be special, obviously. And so this is what we do. But the whole week, Temi, this whole week, it's called Passion Week.
Yeah.
Okay, this whole past week, this Passion Week,
Yeah.
the church, there's a service at church morning and night, morning and night, morning and night.
Wow. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we also have Good Friday. So Good Friday was when Jesus was crucified. Palm Sunday was
Yes.
the week that he entered into Jerusalem. So a week
Yes.
trial, and then we have Sunday resurrection when he actually rose up from the dead. So that's all we have. But so when you say you're celebrating Easter and all that, The one you're doing now with the Orthodox is about Christ. Is it right? Is it about
Yes,
Christ?
yes, yes, yes.
Different from the egg festival.
No, no,
It's
no, no, no. Different, different. The egg festival is not is the spring festival. Spring festival is not Christian related.
correct. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Wow. That's it. So you're getting informed and getting serious education by being on the show. So what are you? Are you doing the festival or are you doing the Jesus Christ? Let's go on a quick break and we'll be back. Welcome back on the show. As I'm talking here, I can see people sending me the type of ashebi that we're going to wear for my father's funeral. You know what that means is we wear the same sort of clothes as children, all of us, and
Mm,
grandchildren. We have costume. You might want to call it costume. We all wear the same thing. So that is all we're working on. It's very, very hard, really, very, very hard. But I've got a couple of flowers that I'm going to show that people gave for my father. Let's have a look. No, not that one. You see flowers? See all the flowers that people brought?
oh,
These are half of the flowers that
wow.
they mm, half of the flowers that they brought. Amazing.
Mm,
But finally, I'm just gonna say thank you so much for all that have contributed and have supported us in every way and form and shape. People have been asking, "Are you going to go?" We're praying. We're praying because Heidi, sorry about my eyes because I couldn't find all my glasses, so something is happening. But anyway, I'm fine. So yeah, I am praying. I wish I really want to go. I would love to, Heidi, to I know it's cloak that is there is not my father, his spirit is gone to God. But I still want to feel the body again. He's been embalmed, so it will look exactly as if it was. So just to tap him and say goodbye. I will,
mm,
but where I'm praying, Nigeria is far. There is unstable in every way and all that. But you need to pray. You pray everything through.
yes, yes.
You pray everything through because if you go and do things in your own power, then it doesn't work out well. And so I'm praying. But if I'm unable to go, God knows my father knew. And he knows still because the spirit is alive. So
Yes.
yeah, in case who are asking, do I want to go? I'm not sure. I would love to. Now, the people have, just to let people know, instead of calling me and asking, the people back home, they've decided on the date.
Mm,
So they've sent me the date in July. So I the pastor, the pastor that is going to do the final rites, we have to look in the church calendar and find the day that suits them. So they've gone to the church and they've done all that, and they've given them a date, and they've told us it's in July.
mm,
So whether we're going to do a wake keeping, which is the night that we might light candle for him or whatever here, I don't know. I
mm,
mean, I don't know any of this. I really don't know. Truly, I don't know. I don't know. People do a lot of things, and I fellowship with them and all that. But when it happens to you, that's when the nitty gritty, the real thing, you now you find out. So I'm in that space of finding out.
yeah.
Hey,
You
I'm
know
not
what?
the first.
Relax and just receive whatever comes as it comes to me.
Mhm.
You know, you can handle anything in this whole entire world. That's what I'm sure of.
Amen.
Yes, you
And
can.
I need the encouragement. I need all that encouragement, really.
Yeah. Mm.
I think I think I've shared all that I wanted to share. Any
Beautiful.
any more question you want to ask me, Heidi? Because I'm like my father, I'm ready to answer any question. Remember
Yes,
when
I
my
just wanted to ask about his relationship to your children. Did he have a relationship with the kids?
good question? Yes. In fact, like the third day before he died, Midi was talking to him and he was saying to Midi, how do you do, Midi? How do you do? So he did. He loved the kids. They had good relations. In fact, I've got a photo uh, of him and the kids. So I just saw that today. Very much so. He said to Toby one time, he says, Toby, you're tall, you're fit, you should be in the military.
Oh,
You should be in the military. I really want Toby to be in the military. I think he said that not long ago, actually, to Toby. So yeah, they do, and they call him every now and then, talk to him as well. So yeah, beautiful. I try, I try my best to make sure to all their grandparents. So they still have my husband still have his parents, mom and
yes.
dad. So they still have their maternal and paternal, paternal grandma and pa. Sorry,
Mm,
we still have them. We're doing good by God's grace. No more flour. No one is dying. So they're there, and no, they have good relationship with them. I
that's
ensure that
good.
that is happening. Mm.
That's good. I think grandfathers and grandmothers, they have a special relationship with their grandchildren,
Mhm.
and it's very important. Like, I look at my mom. My mom has a better relationship with my children than me. Like, I'm looking at thinking, yeah, how did this where when did this happen, or how did this happen, and
Uh,
why is she, like, why they all, like, my daughter calls her, like, just
yeah,
like that. She's
yeah.
going, oh, I missed it, and then she calls her, and then she speaks to her, and I'm
Oh,
going, okay, like, they have this special relationship that I can't explain, and I can't understand, and I don't need to understand it, but I feel that it's important for grandfathers and mothers to have this relationship. It's like they're reliving
yeah, I
having
know.
children, and their children again and again. You see,
I
it's
know. I
yeah,
know. Amazing, beautiful. Now even before my biological children could have their grandchildren, I'm already picking all grandchildren wherever I can pick them. Amazing. And I would love to talk to someone like, Tayo, and I wouldn't even talk to the father. Like, I don't want to talk to Tola. I want Tayo. It's beautiful, and there's something about children. They're just amazing. They're like saints. They're like angel.
that's
Beautiful
true.
soul. I
That's
love. Yeah. So I
yeah,
can imagine how your mom will love your children,
yeah, yeah.
and you will call her. She say, "I'm at work. Mom, can we hang out? No, I'm working tomorrow." But the grandchildren calls, they jump up. It's yeah, it's
That's
them again.
nice.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So that's a
Beautiful.
good question, Heidi, and I'm
Mhm.
glad my children were opportuned to know who, the grandpa. They didn't know my mom, by the way. My mom died in 1990, so
Yes, yes,
none
yes,
of them knew my mom. They just see my mom's picture, and but we talk about my mom every time, and they
yes,
do.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you, Tammy.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I think we're gonna have to and finish the show today. Next week, we've got a powerful topic. Today, we just want to show up and just share what's been happening in our lives since we last saw you, because we missed out last week. But next week, we've got Heidi's got some things brewing, and she's going crazy about it. When ID is crazy about something, so we watch what is going to happen next week when ID brings this topic. I
Yes, yes. I actually want to say a little bit about the next 4 weeks. So the next 4 weeks are all going to be about Adam and Eve.
Right.
I'm going to look at the topic of Adam and Eve in terms of so many different facets. And because of this topic, like there is no relationship that is not full of
Okay.
arguments,
Good.
agreements,
Good.
disputes,
Mm-hmm.
challenges, and we grow from these relationships. So I would like to make a spot the light on top of all of these facets, and let's bring things to the table that we've not discussed before, things we've never talked about, sexual relationship, for example, that I'm going to talk about from an energetic point of view and from a medical point of view, and from there's so many different ways we can look at one topic. So there's so many different things that I want to bring to the table. And so I would like to come. I'm going to do a little bit of a live during the week to advertise and to tell people about it. I would like next week people to come ready with their questions, come with your partner, or hide away from your partner if you want to learn something new and you don't want them to know. So come and learn, because we are going to be talking really deep stuff, everything Adam and Eve. So I can't wait for that to happen, because I have so much passion through relationships. I don't have a relationship, but I love relationships. So
You
this is
do.
why.
You do. For sure. All right.
Not
So
in that sense.
18 years and above, all right? 18 years and above, because Heidi is going to talk about Adam and Eve and sexual stuff. Oh,
Yes, don't bring children to the show because it's going to be hot, hot, hot stuff.
all right, let me go and borrow my husband. He has to be here. Okay, then you heard it. We see you next week. Until
Yes.
then, be good. Bye for
Thank you
now.
so much. Good night.